Were you disrespectful?
Well, I'd said that I'd got a bit of the ick.
Muggy.
The latest episode of Married at First Sight UK delivered some of the most uncomfortable and eye-opening moments of the entire season. And honestly, it wasn't the couples themselves causing the drama this time. Instead, it was their friends and family who stepped in to say what everyone has been thinking for weeks. Dean's friend James didn't hold back when he confronted Sarah about her muggy and disrespectful treatment of his mate, while Maeve's friend dropped a reality bomb about her and Joe living in a bubble that might not survive in the real world. These outside interventions have exposed some uncomfortable truths about relationships that the couples themselves might have been too close to see. And the fallout is going to change everything for both pairs going forward. There's something powerful about getting an outside perspective on your relationship, especially from people who know you best. Friends and family can often see red flags and problems that couples are too emotionally invested to notice themselves. They're not caught up in the romance or the pressure of making things work, so they can be brutally honest about what they're observing. When someone who loves you tells you that your relationship isn't healthy or that your partner is treating you badly, it carries a weight that's hard to ignore. The confrontation between Dean's friend James and Sarah was one of the most satisfying moments for viewers who have been watching Sarah treat Dean terribly for weeks. James didn't waste any time getting straight to the point, asking Sarah directly if she had been disrespectful to Dean. The question was simple, but loaded with meaning, because everyone who has been watching the show knows exactly how Sarah has been behaving toward her husband. From calling him a Care Bear to making cruel comments about his weight, Sarah's treatment of Dean has been nothing short of awful.
He asked me if I'd ever slept with anyone fat.
Okay.
He keeps calling himself the funny fat kid.
Sarah's response to James's question was telling in so many ways. Instead of apologising or showing any remorse for her behaviour, she simply said that she got the ick about Dean. This admission was huge because it finally confirmed what viewers have suspected all along. Sarah has never been genuinely attracted to Dean and has been making his life miserable because of her own feelings of disgust. The fact that she could say this so casually to Dean's friend shows just how little respect she has for her husband's feelings. James's reaction to Sarah's admission was exactly what Dean needed to hear from someone in his corner. He called Sarah's behaviour muggy, which is British slang for being sneaky, disloyal, or generally unpleasant. This wasn't just a casual insult. It was a friend standing up for someone he cares about and calling out behaviour that he found completely unacceptable.
Tell me one interesting fact you learned about Dean.
Interesting fact. Oh my goodness.
The fact that James was willing to confront Sarah directly shows how concerned he was about the way his friend was being treated. What made this confrontation even more powerful was that it came from someone who knows Dean well and can see how Sarah's treatment is affecting him. Friends often notice changes in behaviour and mood that the person themselves might not even realise. James has probably watched Dean's confidence crumble under Sarah's constant criticism and rejection, and he finally reached the point where he couldn't stay silent anymore. This is what real friendship looks like. Being willing to have difficult conversations to protect someone you care about. The timing of James's intervention couldn't have been better. Dean has been making excuses for Sarah's behaviour and trying to convince himself that things might get better between them. Having his friend spell out exactly how muggy Sarah has been might be the wake-up call Dean needs to finally see his situation clearly.
The pair of them today, I don't think it's as smooth sailing as they've made. I just want my mate to be happy at the end of the day. I don't want him to come away looking a bit of a mug.
Sometimes it takes an outside voice to help you realise that you deserve better treatment than what you're accepting. Meanwhile, Maeve and Joe were dealing with their own reality check from Maeve's friend, who expressed serious concerns about their relationship.
I just hope it's not too good to be true. Do you know what I mean?
The friend's observation that they were living in a bubble and might not work in the outside world hit on something that many MAFS couples struggle with. The experiment creates this artificial environment where couples are isolated from their normal lives and pressured to make their relationships work. In this bubble, it's easy to mistake intensity for genuine connection. Maeve's friend's concerns were particularly insightful because she was looking at their relationship from a practical perspective. While Maeve and Joe might seem happy and connected within the experiment, the real test comes when they have to integrate their relationship into their actual lives. Do they have enough in common to build a real future together? Can their connection survive the pressures and distractions of the real world? These are the questions that Maeve's friend was raising, and they're incredibly important ones.
Is to protect themselves, to stay inside the bubble. The reality is, this isn't how real life's going to be.
The bubble comment also highlighted how different the MAFS environment is from real life. In the experiment, couples spend all their time together, go to relationship counselling, and have their every interaction analysed by experts. This level of focus and support doesn't exist in the real world, where couples have to navigate work stress, family obligations, and all the other challenges of daily life. Some relationships that seem strong in the experiment fall apart quickly once that support system is removed. What made both of these friend interventions so powerful was that they came from people who genuinely care about the couples involved. James wasn't trying to break up Dean and Sarah for his own entertainment. He was concerned about his friend's well-being. Maeve's friend wasn't being negative for the sake of it. She was trying to help Maeve think realistically about her future. These interventions came from a place of love and concern, which makes them much harder to dismiss. The reactions from both couples to their friends' concerns will be telling. Dean's response to hearing his friend call Sarah muggy could be the moment he finally realises that he deserves better treatment. If someone who knows you well thinks your partner is being disrespectful, it's worth taking that feedback seriously. On the other hand, if Dean continues to make excuses for Sarah's behaviour even after his friend's intervention, it might show that he's too emotionally invested to see the situation clearly. For Maeve and Joe, the bubble comment should prompt some serious conversations about their future. Are they building something real that can survive outside the experiment? Or are they just caught up in the intensity of the situation? The fact that Maeve's friend felt the need to voice these concerns suggests that there might be some fundamental issues with their compatibility that they haven't fully addressed. These friend interventions also highlight the importance of having people in your life who will tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Both James and Maeve's friend were willing to risk making things awkward by speaking up about their concerns. This kind of honest feedback is invaluable in relationships, because it's easy to get caught up in your own emotions and lose perspective on what's really happening. As we move forward in the experiment, the impact of these outside perspectives will become clearer. Will Dean finally stand up for himself after hearing his friend's assessment of Sarah's behaviour? Will Maeve and Joe take the bubble warning seriously and work on building a more realistic foundation for their relationship? Or will both couples dismiss their friends' concerns and continue down the same paths they've been on? This episode proved that sometimes the most important voices in a relationship drama aren't the couples themselves, but the people who love them enough to tell them the truth. Friends don't lie, and in this case, their honesty might be exactly what these couples need to make better decisions about their futures.